Hello and welcome. This is Silvia Camerini. I'm the creatrix of the Pregnancy's Queen, and this is your summer circle of mothers. So, approximately 1 year ago, on July 24th, 2014, I did start my online practice and I birthed my website. And so, to celebrate the first anniversary of this journey, I decided to organize 4 summer circles of mothers, all during the month of July. Every Thursday, all during the month of July. So I want to welcome you to be here today, as I know that all of us are very busy, and to find some time to listen to this call and participate to it. It's a sign that you really want to do something special for yourself. So thank you very much for being here. I'm going to introduce myself a little bit. So I'm Silvia Camerini and I help pregnant women to create their best birthing and maternity experience. I'm a life coach and a specialized pregnancy and birth coach and a doula. And I created the Pregnancy's Queen. That is my project to support you along your pregnancy. I am lighting a candle now, and it's a pink candle, as I want to ignite and protect the chakra of love, our fourth chakra, during this call. Okay. And here we go. So we've got a lovely pink candle. So I was telling you, I decided to organize these circles because I felt that it was the moment to share my story with you and hopefully inspire you with my story, and also to strengthen our sorority. I believe that women are powerful when they gather together, and know a little bit more about each one of us can help us to improve our relationship. And maybe you will understand better what I can do for you and the benefits that you can get from my services. So what we are going through this call is the sharing of my story, first of all. I'm going to tell you my story as a mother and what inspired me to help other mothers like you. Then you're going to find out the benefits that you can get from my services, from working with me. And then we are going to explore the theme of clarity in regards of making conscious choices along your pregnancy to create what is the best birthing experience for you based on your most intimate desires and dreams. And finally, I will guide you through a powerful exercise to face your wants and needs so that you can leave this call with much more clarity than when you arrive here. So, first of all, let's start with my story. When I got pregnant about 6 years ago, I was 7 heaven. I was wishing for a baby for years, actually for about 7 years that time. So I really felt blessed. And all during my pregnancy, I was quite clear about what I did want. I did want to have vaginal childbirth. That was very, very important to me. And, I prepare myself reading books about childbirth and basically practicing what I didn't know at that time. that was relaxation. I listened to classical music because I heard that it was very nice for the baby in my womb. And I went to the prenatal classes. I did most of all the things that a pregnant mom does when she's pregnant for the first time. So let's say that the main point for me was to have that vaginal childbirth. It was so important because to me it was a kind of rite of passage. And I thought that the moment that I could give birth to my baby vaginally, I was, stepping into a next level of my existence. I thought it was important for my personal evolution. And, at the same time, I did want to prepare myself too much. I said, okay, I know I will have to go through some kind of pain, and I will be ready. When the labor starts, I will be ready. No matter what, I will be listening to my body, and I trust my body, to my birthing abilities. But I wasn't so prepared to give birth. I actually didn't know at all how to give birth. I mean, physically. And I did know just a little bit about the physical process. And I dare say nothing about the emotional and spiritual process of birthing a baby. So when the labor started, I spent some time at home, and then I went to the hospital where I did choose to give birth. When I was, let's say, in mid-labor, it wasn't so strong. I had contractions, but then they stopped and then they started again. They weren't really, there wasn't really a pattern, an established pattern for them. So at the end, when I went to the hospital, I was always with this idea in my mind. I want to have a vaginal birth. And, when the contractions became stronger and more frequent, and then I went totally into labor. The nurses there suggested me to take some kind of drugs to speed the labor. And I said, no, please, I want to give birth vaginally, and I don't want anything, I want to do it just like this. And so they said, okay, so if you want to do it just like this, you stay here. And basically I was left in my hospital room by my own, just with my partner. And nobody came to visit me, to see me, to check how I was for hours. That night, the hospital was, the maternity unit was quite busy, and I could hear the screams of other mothers giving birth. And so they came to visit me, I don't know, maybe once or twice every 3 or 4 hours. And I remember saying to the nurse who came to visit me, oh, please stay here with me. Is there anybody who can stay here with me? And she said, we are all very busy because there are a few moms giving birth at the same time. So, you are not in the last stage of labor yet. So, and she went away. I remember then the dawn came, the day after came, and a midwife came. She was just fresh because her shift was just started, and she came to me. She checked me internally, and she said, okay, you are 9 centimeters dilated, and shall we go to the birthing room, the delivery room? And I said, okay. And so we went there, and there started the the strongest phase of labor, I started to push, and she helped me quite a lot with my baby, to deliver my baby. And so at the end, after approximately 1 hour, my baby was born. I was seven heaven again. I felt like a hero. I remember I was euphoric, I was laughing, and I felt like I could do anything after that experience. I remember that day I felt like I was literally walk on the clouds. It was another dimension. Everything was like magic. And it was like something I have never experienced before came to my life. And I was truly, truly blessed. So after that experience, I didn't have any other previous birth to compare to. And as a first time mother, I was still learning a lot of things. I attended postnatal classes too. And I remember I did feel the need to meet other moms and to meet, midwives and talk about my birth. It was a very strong need for me. I felt like talking about my birth and all of what I did, it was empowering me. And it was like through the storytelling, I was healing myself a little bit. Because at the end, for my body, giving birth, it was a kind of trauma, as I never opened myself physically so much. And I never showed myself naked, in front of other people in that way, birthing a baby. So that was my first experience. And after all, at the end, I was very happy of it, but I felt there was still something that I could do to improve it. And I started to study a bit more about pregnancy and what happened in the human body of a woman when she gets pregnant, and all the birthing process, And then I started to apply the techniques I didn't know at that time, such as EFT, the emotional freedom technique, to work with my feelings and emotions related to my birth. And after 1 year or so, I got pregnant for the second time. And that time I said, I want to do it differently. I want to do it even better. And I want to use all my skills to give birth. I want to be more aware of what I'm going to do. I want to be even more in control of the situation. I want to be in charge of it. So, at that time, I prepare myself a little bit differently from the first time. I attended a different prenatal courses, as I did want something different, I said, this is another step of my evolution and I want to do it differently. So I did quite a lot of EFT at that time, and I was working on the fear to feel the pain during delivery. And also I was working on the need of feeling peace and joy throughout the whole process of giving birth. Then I learned about contractions as they worked and what they did mean. And I realized that in my first birth, during my first birth, I did push all the time. from the first contractions till the end. And I didn't know that the first part of labor is actually just about letting go and dance with contractions and breathe. I didn't know these things. And I thought in my first pregnancy that all this stuff was coming along by itself, just to find out that it wasn't like this during my second birth, but that I did need to be prepared for it in a different way. So I studied about contractions and I started to practice breathing, to exercise my breathing, and I studied a little bit more about my physiology and how my body was made and the different kind of bounds that I have and how they work during labor. And, I slowly open up another world for me. So when I arrived at the end of my pregnancy and my labor did start, I remember the first hours, the first contractions, I was doing EFT, because I said I was a bit scared about the pain, and also having another baby at home. I was worried about him. I was thinking about him and not just about myself as in my first labor. So I was thinking to many more things compared to my first birth, when I was alone. I was just me, and I didn't have another baby to care for, and I could be much more relaxed. That night when contractions started for my second birth, I remember I did want to put my son in bed and make sure that everything was right. And then I felt ready to go to the hospital to give birth. And, what was totally unexpected is that my second labor was so fast for me. I didn't tell you that my first birth lasted for 32 hours. So since the moment I went into labor, from the moment my son was born, 32 hours did pass. And instead, my second birth lasted for about 7 hours. And it was so fast, it was much faster than I could expect it. I could expect. And that surprised me. And at the beginning, I wasn't really coping with these with my contractions, how fast they went. I remember anyway, I did prepare some blankets on the floor, and I put my knees on them and I start breathing and relaxing. And so all the first part of my labor was about relaxing. I said, this time I don't want to push at all until the head is engaged. I just want to relax and let go and open up and focus on my breathing. So a couple of hours later, when I arrived at the hospital, my baby's head was already engaged, and I just basically had to push, and then my daughter was born in less than 1 hour. And it was so beautiful and so tender to me. I remember I did ask my midwife to switch off the lights, and so the room was dark, and she put my baby on my breast, and we both were naked, and I asked for her to stay with me without bathing her or measuring her, at least for the first couple of hours. And all my wishes were really, they fulfilled all my wishes. And I couldn't be happier. And so this was a birth that I did prepare during my pregnancy. I also wrote a birth plan based on my responsibility to go through labor at my best and to be open to unexpected events, and basically to be aware of what I was going to do, and to commit myself to ask for help and to speak to my birthing team and tell the people there, the medical staff and my partner, what I did need. And really, this whole process of preparing myself helped me tremendously, because when I arrived at the hospital, then everybody knew what I did want, and they simply helped me to accomplish what I wanted. They were happy to help me to have the kind of birth I did want too. So these were my birthing experiences. Then what happened after that, it was that I started meeting a lot of new moms as I attended postnatal courses, postnatal classes, or breastfeeding meetings, or I went to simple meetings for new moms where we were talking about our challenges with our newborns. And I start to listen to and to witness to many birthing stories and experiences. And what I found out, it was that just a few, if none of the mothers who had given birth were totally satisfied with their experience. But there was always something that went wrong, something they did remember with anger or with disappointment. They were regretting something. And I start questioning myself, why? If we are women and our body is made to give birth, why do we have to experience negative births, or so challenging experiences through pregnancy? Or why do we have to feel such as we are abused during childbirth? Some mothers had C-sections and they didn't want to have it, and so they felt like the medical staff was putting some pressure maybe on them. Oh, there were so many stories. But the leitmotif was that what I felt, it was that there wasn't full happiness. They weren't happy 100% of their birth. And that this kind of experience was in a way or another affecting their parenthood, the way they were relating with their babies. The kind of childbirth they had was affecting their bonding with their babies, and also the relationship with the other members of the family. So I said, if I had a positive experience for me, if I was fulfilled through my childbirth, if I was so happy and I felt so powerful, maybe there is something in there is something in my childbirth experiences that can help other women too. And I want to be the ambassador of this. I want to go out there and tell women that birthing can be a powerful experience, and that is a great chance for you to evolve, for you as a woman to evolve and to find out something about yourself that you didn't know it was there, to find out your skills, your wisdom, to reconnect to your wisdom, and basically to discover that you can create your life the way you want it to be, starting from your pregnancy, then during your delivery, your childbirth, and then along your motherhood. So I started to think about the idea of a website where I was talking to mothers as a mom, and I was sharing my experience, hopefully to inspire them, to inspire you. But then what happened? So I did start a website, and I did start a blog too with a newsletter. So each week I was sending my newsletter with an article about an aspect of maternity, and I did send it to my friends, to a group of friends that I had, and that was in Italian. But then, along this process of writing about pregnancy and childbirth and motherhood, I felt that something more was needed. I felt that I couldn't simply speak to other mothers as a mother, but I did want to be more professional. And so I remember that one day while I was having my internet search for some more information about a topic that I did want to write about, I found out this this word, this website about doulas. And I said, what is this? I mean, I didn't know about doulas because during my second childbirth, during my second pregnancy, I remember I found out a video about a doula going to visit her pregnant mother. But that video simply remained there on my desk in my computer. And I didn't know a lot about doulas. So I started searching about doulas, and I discovered that basically a doula was doing what I was doing with mothers through my newsletter. So I was supporting mothers. I was giving them information, and I was about childbirth and pregnancy and motherhood, and I was supporting their choices. I wasn't judging them for their choices. I was there for them, and I did receive, a lot of feedbacks from mothers. They were writing me back and said, "Oh, please keep on doing what you are doing because we need it. thank you for sharing this experience about pregnancy and childbirth, because I feel inspired. I feel I can carry on even if I've got challenges. So basically, I realized that what I was doing with my mothers through my newsletter was the same that a doula is doing with the mothers who want their support. And I said, wow, this is just what I'm looking for. This is the next step of my evolution. I can become a doula. I want to become a doula, and I will become a doula. So basically, right after I found out about this word, I started searches for a doula course in my area, and I enrolled in one of them. And I think the month later, yes, about a few weeks later, I did start my journey to become a doula. And so in the meanwhile, I was studying about the law of attraction, and then I was getting my certificate to become a life coach too. So at the end of, well, let's say not at the end, but along the process of this evolution of myself as woman and mother, I became a law of attraction practitioner, a certificate life coach, and a certificate doula. And a certified life coach and a certified doula. And I simply implemented all the things that I had learned through this process in my website. And I also decided that I wanted to do it for English-speaking mothers online, because I did want to stay at home with my children and organize my time, my work, and myself more freely. So to work online for me is a great opportunity to organize my time with my family and the things I love in my life, and to help you as well. So this is my story, and my aim is always to show pregnant women how birthing can be beautiful, can be a transformative experience if you only commit yourself to face your fears, to dive deep inside yourself and switch on a light in your darkest corners, in the darkest corners of your soul, and to face your weaknesses and also your strengths at the same time, and celebrate your victories or your successes along this process. Maybe I dare say, to become more aware of who you are and what you're going to do. So this brings me to share with you the benefits that you can get from my support. When a mom works with me, at the beginning, she has a kind of challenge that she wants to overcome. Maybe and hopefully it's during pregnancy. I say hopefully because during pregnancy you still have the time to decide what you want to do, for your birth, and to set the foundation of your motherhood. While I dare say that when you come to me and you are a new mom, a lot has already been done during your pregnancy. So maybe the transition along your motherhood can be a little bit more difficult. So I always suggest pregnant moms to come to me and during pregnancy. It's better before than after, birth. Anyway, you come to me when you feel ready, and then you have a kind of challenge that you want to overcome. And maybe you feel overwhelmed, or you have troubles with breastfeeding, or you want to know more about the kind of births that you can have. And we are going through all your doubts and fears and questions together. I give you more information about the topics that you want to explore, and I help you to face your power. So you go through this deep and transformative process to find out who you are and what you want, and to make your choices then according to them, according to what you want to accomplish for your birth and for your motherhood, and according to who you truly are inside yourself. So what you experience as well is a deepest connection with your baby, more clarity about how your body works and the choices of birth that you can have, more information about the kinds of birth that you can have. Let's say a water birth, an hospital birth, an unassisted birth, a birth at home, and so on. And then you start implementing as well the role of your partner, and you start sharing with him what you deeply want for your birth, so that he or she can understand better how to help you during your labor. And at the end of this process, you feel renewed. You feel like you are a new person, and you are indeed, actually. As when you give birth to your baby, you give birth to a new you at the same time. And you start realizing that you have the power to keep the reins of your life, keep the reins of your maternity experience, and go towards the direction you deeply want to give it. So, this brings me to talk to you about the topic of clarity. When you are clear about what you want, it's much more easier to go through your choice, to make choices actually, and to bring them into reality, to make them come true through action. Because this is something that I really want to underline. The first step is really to get clear about what you want, but then this is not enough to create the motherhood that you really want to experience. The first step is to get clear, and then is to put your dream into action, is to transform your dreams, your thoughts, your emotions into action. You must do something in order to accomplish your goal. You can't just get clear about what you want and sit there waiting for it to happen. So the action time, it's quite important, such as to become aware and clear about what is most important for you. But today, as this is the first circle, I want to deepen this topic, the topic of clarity. So I'm going to ask you a few questions here. What do you really want to experience for your childbirth? How do you want it to be? How do you envision your childbirth to take place? What are you doing? How are you feeling? What are you thinking about? Where are the people around you? Who are them? What are they doing? And how are you communicating to them your needs? How's the relationship with your baby during your delivery? Have you ever thought about all these questions? Do you have a clear answer for them? Or are you in the middle of a foggy landscape? So here I want to guide you through a powerful exercise that will really help you to go away from this call with much more clarity than when you arrive here. I want you to think about one topic in particular that you feel you need to become more clear about. Is it about the place of birth? Is it about the kind of birth that you want to have? Is it about your pregnancy? You know, you name it. You know where it is. You know where you feel uncomfortable, where you have doubts and questions, and what are the things that you want to know better or deeper, or that you want to become more comfortable with. So think about this topic. Get one in particular, the one that is most dear to your heart. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and on a scale of 1 to 10, think about how strong this challenge is for you. Where 1 is really mild and 10 is really strong. So think about, on a scale of 1 to 10, think about the intensity of this topic. And when you score it, then sit comfortably on your chair or lay down on a sofa if you prefer. Just find a comfortable place or a comfortable position where you are. Close your eyes. And let's start to relax. Breathe deeply for 3 times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale again. Each time you feel more relaxed, you let go all the anxieties, all the worries. Inhale and exhale once more. Until you are totally relaxed. So now imagine yourself at the beginning of a stair. is going down deep into yourself, into a place of yourself where there is your truth. Now you're going there. You start moving, and each step you go a little bit deeper along the stair. One step, two steps, three steps. You're going deeper and deeper. 4, 5, 6. You start seeing that place that dwells inside yourself. 7, 8, 9. You're almost there. One more step. And 10. Here you are. This place of clarity. There's a lot of light here. You can see clearly the things around you. You can hear the noises and the sounds and the voices. You can smell the flavors around. You can taste the flavor of this place. You can touch things around you. And they give you pleasure. All your senses are wide open. You can really embody the truth of this place. Here, there is a solution, the answer, the way out to your challenge. Stay here for a few moments. Breathe deeply. Merge with this scene until you feel that the truth, the clear truth, is inside you, well grounded and safe inside you. Now you know what you have to do. You know your next step. You know the direction you want to work towards to. You know who you are. And this meeting with the true part of yourself makes you happy, extraordinarily happy. And you feel the light around you to enlighten all your body, all your cells. And you feel this light inside yourself, and you feel that you can be clear about anything from this moment on. You got now this power inside yourself. You can choose clearly what is right for you because you know it deep inside. And here, now, today, you just found it. And it will stay with you until the end of this earthly experience of your soul. Breathe deeply. And thank this place for this huge gift it gave to you. The gift of clarity. You keep it in your heart, like in a secret casket. You keep it all the time with you. When you're ready, at your pace, turn back towards the stair and start to climb it. You're going back to your reality, to your life, to your room, to your body, and you start climbing the stair. Each step closer to where you are, to your present. You start from step number 10, then 9, 8, 7. Each step you feel this light inside yourself. You feel the clarity to feel all your body. You are clarity. Step number 6, number 5, 4, 3. You're almost here. You're almost back to your physical body, to your present, to the chair or sofa where you are. You're clear about what you want and what you need. Step number 2. Step number 1. You're right. You're back here and now. You know what you want. You know what you need. And you know how to communicate with others to get the support you long for. You got the clarity and it stays with you. Now breathe deeply again. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back. Refreshed, more powerful than when you started this exercise, more clear and relaxed. So I hope you enjoyed this exercise. You can stretch, I'm doing it too. And maybe drink some water to ground yourself. I'm sipping some water. That was great. And, now I ask you to reconnect to the challenge you had at the beginning of this exercise and feel it in your body. And on a scale of 1 to 10, score the intensity of it. How is it? And compare it with the score you gave to it at the beginning of this exercise. So, if you got anything less than what you started with, this means that this exercise helped you quite a lot straight away, and that the more you do it, the more benefits you will have for your well-being, for your pregnancy, your childbirth, and at the end, you will spread, literally spread this well-being from yourself into the world around you, into other people too. So there is one more thing that I want to add, and is that now you don't have to care about the immediate answer of your question if you haven't got it yet through the exercise. Just, keep on relaxing during your day and keep on living your pregnancy, your motherhood. I want to say as usual, even if something really important happened inside yourself. You will see the results in the next few days or in the next few weeks. Something has happened inside yourself during this exercise. Just remember to stay open and to receive what can come to you unexpectedly along your life and pregnancy. Maybe something particular will happen, or you switch on the radio and you will listen to a song that has words for you, or you will open a book and you will find a special quote with the answer to your challenge, to your questions, to your doubts. So just be open, just keep yourself open and relaxed. And remember that you can achieve this level of openness and relaxation through breathing. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up this first summer circle of mothers. I'm really happy we spent this time together, and I'm looking forward for the next circle that is going to be next Thursday. And I'm going to prepare something for you for the new moon. And we are going to deepen the connection with the moon phase, and you're going to find out the benefits that you can get from the connection with nature and the moon cycles. So if you enjoy this call and you are listening to me through the Hangout, please just go to my website, www.pregnancyqueen.com, and you can sign up for newsletter and gift on the top right side of the screen to get the replies of these circles and to get the updates on the next. I thank you so much for being here with me today, and I send you my bright blessings to you. And if there was anything that inspired you, I'd love to hear your feedback. And if you feel drawn to, in case you feel drawn to have a conversation with me, to find out how you can enjoy my services, how we can work together, how you can have my support and my presence by your side, just drop me a message to pregnancyScreen@hotmail.com or visit my website and fill the form in my contacts. Thank you so much again for being here with me today. Have a bright day. Bye-bye.